Hi, this is Sherry Petro. Welcome to Effective Business Writing. So if you haven't already, choose the link on the website around business writing so that you can download the workbook, because you're going to find that this information would really resonate if you can make it your own. So please make sure that you have that in front of you as you continue our course. As a strategist, I always have several objectives so that you can understand what our expectations are here for the time that we're going to spend together. So this is what I'm starting with. I want you to be able to learn how to use strategic thinking skills as you effectively write in business. Define the objective, because it's really important for us to have purpose and intention before we even sit down, put our hands to the keyboard or pen to paper. Master the mechanics so that you understand all of the pieces of sentence structure and how to put things together that will really make sense for your reader. Then writing with correct punctuation, style, and impact. Oh, the punctuation issues that we get ourselves in trouble on. And then leave with tips that you can immediately use and put to good use. So you might have expected those type of objectives. I'm really interested in why you're participating today and what are some of the things that you'd like to learn. It could be that you are participating because your emails have been bounced back by well-meaning friends saying, "What the heck were you guys thinking?" Or somebody thought it would just be a really good idea for you. Someone important might have seen your work and pleaded with you to attend. You could have sent reports or presentations to a higher up and they came back corrected with red pen. Or simply, your customers want to know who the stiff is who's authoring your memos and emails. Okay, so that was a little tongue-in-cheek, but hopefully you can write down in your workbook what you are hoping to learn. It's simple enough, right? If you're going to be spending this important time, this valuable time, learning, what is your intention? Having a purpose is critical to very good business writing. So let's ensure that you get the value that you desire out of this session. Let's start out here. Indicate your intentions for our learning project in your workbook. All right, we are going to start with something really important, which will be reflected in many of the things that we talk about as you go through these modules. There are 12 rules for business writing. 1. Get to the point as quickly as possible. Don't meander around, trying to lead folks to where you want them to go. In our 24/7 global high-speed world, it's really appreciated if we can get to the point as quickly as possible. The next thing, write to express, not impress. One of the things that we know about different generations is that baby boomers, those folks 44 to 62, it was so competitive when we got into the workplace, we did a lot of trying to impress. Well, when it comes to business writing, it's all about expressing yourself. Not impressing, because what that leads to is using very sophisticated language that can actually lose the reader. The third business writing rule, be clear and concise. If you have somebody bringing something back to you saying, "I don't know what it was that you were going for," you got a pretty good indication that this is one of the rules that you're going to need to concentrate on. Prefer the simple to the complex. I had mentioned a few rules ago about sophistication. One of the things that we know is that people really just want to get down to the fundamentals. What are the basics? Can we make it simple? Is there a reason for putting a 4-syllable word in where a 1-syllable word can do? The fifth rule, use 20 words or less in your sentences. Seen too many business writing projects where we've got somebody trying to be so impressive that they're putting 35 to 50 words in a sentence. When you think about that, how can you possibly determine what is your noun and verb when it's got all of that stuff around it? This is on average, so certainly you can have a sentence that is a little bit longer or a little bit shorter, but on average, use 20 words or less. The sixth business writing rule: write in a conversational and polite tone. Who likes to read negativity? Now, this does not mean that you get so familiar with someone that you start using language that's not appropriate in the business environment. So when you take a look at these first 6 business writing rules, which ones do you feel that you already do really well with? Which ones do you think, I could be even better at that? And which ones do you look and you go, ooh, I'm really missing on that one? Mark it down in your workbook. That'll give you an idea of where you're going to be spending your time and focus as we move through this information. Time for business writing rules number 6 through 12. Be friendly and positive. On the old Flintstones commercials, those of you who remember them, or maybe you've seen them on the Nickelodeon channel. Are we now calling that Nick at Night? Bad News Schleprock used to be a character on the Flintstones. And there was a black cloud that followed him around. How many people really enjoy reading things that are negative? Be friendly and positive in your business writing. The next rule: avoid jargon and unnecessary words. Talk about being sophisticated. One of the things that we like to do is put in a lot of adjectives that are unnecessary. There are other things we like to do, which happens in the next rule, we call weasel words. But let's pop back up to number 8. Avoiding jargon. There was a point in my career that I worked for an organization that 4 months into it, they gave me a glossary. It was like 15 pages long. How can you try not to use jargon? Because what happens when you do? You put jargon in there, you're really making the reader work extra hard trying to figure out, what did that mean? Remember who your audience is. Avoid jargon. Rule number 9. Write with nouns and verbs, avoiding passive language. Make everything that you do active. That really engages people. And omit those weasel words. Weasel words are things like almost, nearly. If you're going to claim something, then claim it. The next business writing rule: use language that ties into your readers' experiences or can be pictured. They say 65% of the American population is visual. Well, knowing that, how can you use language that helps paint a picture so somebody can really connect with you? Rule number 11. Read your writing aloud to make sure you've captured the sentiment. And you might think, oh boy, I'm in a cube. Do I really want to do that? Whisper it, but at least do it. Too many times we write emails not aware that we've skipped some important noun, verb, or just a to or the that somehow modifies our sentence structure. What it does, it says to the reader, hey, I was going so fast, I didn't take the time to really honor you to make sure that you'd be able to figure out what it was that I am saying. So, read your writing aloud to make sure that you've got it. And business writing rule number 12. Proofread carefully, or let somebody else read your work. So, you might think, oh, I do that for myself all of the time. Well, you know how they say, sometimes you're too close to the forest to see the trees? You really need a break, or you need someone else to come in and take a look at your work. So if you have that buddy at work that can help you, make sure that you give them ample time to take a look at your work and offer counsel. So we're going to do the same thing as we did on rules 1 through 6. Take a look at these and try to figure out, what do I do really well with already? What could I be even better at? And out of all of these, what am I really missing? I hadn't even thought of that. That's how you're going to focus your energy as we march through effective business writing.